Perfect. Thank you. Well, good afternoon.
Dr. Ashit, can you please chair this session? Ashit Shah. So this is an industry-sponsored session on new strategies for sustained antibiotic delivery of PJI. Request Ashit from Mumbai to chair this session.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to begin, first of all, with thank you to ROC for the kind invitation, particularly to Amar RANAWAT. So as we've heard, for the most of this morning, the number one reason for arthroplasty failure is PJIs. Substantially high mortality rate, as high as some cancers, and sadly, infection rates have not changed for over 4 decades, despite many approaches that are being taken simultaneously. For example, reducing OR contamination, modifying host response like lowering A1C or weight, and delivery of antibiotics. And on the horizon, you have better diagnostic tools, ways to treat biofilms, and new therapeutic agents, including ways to improve delivery for sustained delivery of antibiotics. The goal in delivering sustained antibiotics is actually quite simple, and that is to be able to deliver antibiotics at a sufficiently high concentration to be able to make infection eradication possible and for a duration that's long enough. But that is not meant by currently available technologies. For example, antibiotic-loaded cements only delivers antibiotic from the surface and do not have sustained release. And almost every synthetic bone graft substitute contains calcium sulfate, which is like common table salt, resorbs very quickly. Example of this is a commonly used bone graft substitute called Stimulan. Almost every company has it. And it results in complications such as seromas or wound drainage. Later examples of these are preloaded antibiotic-containing bone graft substitutes. An example is Osteocet T from Stryker. On the left, you see tobramycin release from the literature from Stryker that shows that you have release from a few hours to a few days. And on the right, you have release of gentamicin from bone support Cerament G. It's an improvement over Osteocet T. Still, nonetheless, you have a device that contains 60% calcium sulfate, and although with improved delivery, you still have commonly reported problems with wound drainage and seroma formations. A new device that is being tried in the US in the form of a clinical trial is VTX7, an investigational antibiotic-eluting spacer. This is placed inside the joint space after the primary implant has been explanted, and over a 7-day duration, you get an alternate infusion of vancomycin and tobramycin. The early results of this are quite promising, although, to be clear, they're only at 12 months follow-up. The two limitations that are most glaring for this device are that the patient is tethered to an infusion system for 7 days in the hospital, and the cost of treatment is exorbitant, exceeding $50,000 US projected just for treatment in one case. BOM-V is a new generation of resorbable synthetic bone graft substitute that is differentiated in the following way. It still retains the simple easy-to-use advantages of familiar bone graft substitutes, but since it eliminates calcium sulfate, it removes the one major limitation of quick resorption and wound drainage formation. And our preclinical data, which has been published, shows that we have sustained deliveries consistently and predictably when mixed intraoperatively of over 8 weeks. Such delivery is unprecedented, and it gives a new modality for surgeons to be able to deliver flexibly intraoperative, patient-specific sustained release of antibiotics. The osteoconductive composition mimics human bone very closely. It exhibits a programmed biphasic resorption profile over 6 months, eliminating wound drainage, and shows healthy new bone in about 20 weeks, interdigitated very well with host bone, whether placed in infected defects or non-infected defects, which is a big advantage. In contrast to current options, the initial spike is 50 times the minimum inhibitory concentration, effectively treating potential early stages of biofilm attachment and proliferation, followed by an 8-week release, all in the therapeutic range, addressing senescent cells that get released from the biofilm. When you explode the y-axis, you can see that Bond V release of tobramycin is the only one that gives you over 8 weeks of release in the therapeutic range, meeting the kind of guidelines that are minimum 6 weeks of IV therapy of antibiotic delivery. On the left, the system gives flexibility in delivering single or double dose when mixed intraoperatively, and on the right, combination Vanco and Tobra when mixed intraoperatively as well, and early results at 12 months follow-up are very promising, with no wound drainage and solid bone regeneration, validating our thesis that targeted local delivery of antibiotic over an 8-week period in the therapeutic range can be a new modality and a next generation treatment for treating PJIs. It's flexible enough to be available for a wide variety of antibiotics, and in this field of multiple available options, we believe that Bond V will be a new next generation solution for sustained release in a mode that is very familiar to surgeons for use. I thank you for your attention.